Today I want to show you how my daughter and I made this magical unicorn bubble gun into a steampunk bubble gun. When we ordered this on Amazon, we didn't like the color, but we really liked the shape of the horse. To prep the gun to be painted, we winded up the tube, removed the sticker, and pulled the battery tab. We were curious what the sound was. It was very loud and annoying. We will talk more about this later. We used painter tape to mask off some of the areas we didn't want the spray paint to get onto. I then used a craft knife to clean up the edges and cut off the extra tape. We used a cheap black spray paint as a base, building up a little at a time. Then I painted a copper color on the gun and it looked too smooth and clean. So I painted a layer of textured paint over different parts. This texture was to help the metal look a little more corroded. The trick is to only coat some parts of the gun, so I used a mask. Then I painted the hammered copper and the bronze over the texture. I used a water-based turquoise paint and misted it over the whole gun. With a foam brush, I wiped off the excess and blended the big drops. Mostly I tried to take the turquoise paint off the high parts, leaving it in the cracks. After it dried, I used brass rub and buff to highlight a few different areas of the horse. I removed the painter's tape and painted those areas with a black paint. I painted some googly eyes and some wire a shiny copper color to help cover some of the holes and add details on the gun. We glued the googly eyes on with some super glue. I cut some thin foam pieces to cover the speaker holes to knock back the sound. I coated the two discs with a leak seal to seal the foam. We bent the wire into a rough shape of where we wanted it. We poked a hole in the disc and put super glue on the back. Then we glued it over the speaker holes. Then we put some super glue on the wire and inserted it into the hole. Then we checked where the next copper disc would fit and applied some glue on the back. Now it's time to paint the bubbles. First we started with a coat of black paint. Then I put a layer of copper spray paint on top. To age the bubbles, we used black, red, and orange paints mixed together to paint on top of the copper. Only paint a little at a time and wipe it off with a rag. Wipe off the higher raised parts and let the grime build up in the details. Don't try to put all of the grime on in one coat because it always looks better if it's built up slowly. Once you have mastered this technique, apply a layer of dirt and grime to your bubble gun. My daughter and I were very happy with the way her unicorn bubble gun turned out. It was a very easy project to make, and gave her inside-out steampunk joy costume the perfect piece of technology. Here is a picture of our whole family in our inside-out steampunk costumes. I've provided a link in the description to purchase the magical unicorn bubbles from Amazon. For more crafts and costume projects, check out simplepracticalbeautiful.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel to be notified when we upload additional videos.